Okay, it's time to set up this network in this NAT situation. So I'm going to show you how to do it from the beginning. So we'll set up a new document. Alright, and we'll drag out the components that we're going to need. I'm going to go to routers here, click on generic, and put a router here, and then generic, and put a router here. And then I'm going to go to end devices, and I'm going to grab a generic server and drag that out over here. Switches, I'll click on switches, and I'll just grab a generic switch and put that here. And then end devices and PC, and put that here. And oh, that's a laptop. I don't want that. I just want a generic, another generic PC here. And then we're going to name everything and then set it up. Okay. So that sounds good. All right. We got to also link everything together. So let's start with these PCs to this switch. We'll go to our link connections. We'll get some straight through cables. Click here, Ethernet to Ethernet 0, and straight through Ethernet to the second Ethernet port. Alright, and then from the switch to the router's Ethernet is also a straight through. So we'll grab straight through cable. We'll go Ethernet to fast Ethernet 00 on this router. Now from router to router, we'll go serial port to serial port, and for that we'll need a serial cable. I'm going to take the serial cable with the DCE clock rate, the DCE end of the serial cable. So I'll click that, and this is going to be the DCE, and that'll go on serial 2 here. I'm going to drag that across, and I'm going to put it on serial 2 of the other router. Alright. And then last but not least, we have to connect this router to this. We're going to connect this router directly to this server. So a direct connection needs to be from Ethernet on a computer to the Ethernet of the router. Has to be a crossover cable. So I'll grab a crossover cable here and put it on the Ethernet to fast Ethernet 00. Okay, now I'm going to put some labels so that you can see what's going on here. On server 0, I'm going to change this to server 0, and actually I'll just delete that and just put the IP address that I'm going to put for this server, 10.0.0.254. So that's going to be the server's IP address right here. These PCs, this guy, I'm going to make 192.168.1.100. Okay, and then this guy will be 192.168.1.101. Okay, and then this guy right here, router 0, I'm just going to change his name to R0. And then this guy will be the guy that we're going to set up NAT overload on. And then this guy, router 1, will be the guy that we're going to set up static NAT on. Okay, so static NAT. We're going to do a static NAT assignment for this router. Okay, now we got to configure these guys. So for this PC, very quickly, I want to get this done very quickly. So I'm going to go to desktop, IP configuration, static. Subnet mask, his gateway will be 192.168.1.1. Okay, so that'll be the router's, that needs to be the router's interface. Alright, I'll close that. Alright, now he's ready to go. Do the same thing for this guy except make his IP address 101. I'll do that in a minute. For the router here, okay, very quickly, I'm going to cheat and go to the little GUI tool to set up the interfaces so I can do it very quickly. I want to do the minimal configuration. Actually, I'll do command line interface, that way you guys can see what's happening. EN for enable, and conf T to get to global config mode. INT short for interface. FA0/0. IP address 192.168.1.1 space and the subnet mask, and then after that do a no shut for no shutdown. Alright, and that interface is up. Okay, so now that interface is up. Now for the other interface, I'm going to put int serial 2/0 because that's the number of the serial interface. I'll put in the IP address, and we're going to make this one a public IP address, 200.10.0.1, and I got to put in the subnet mask. Oops. 255.255.255.0. Okay, I've got to put the clock rate. Clock rate 64,000. And then no shut for no shutdown. And the interface will come up once we've configured the other router's interface. So we'll do that one first next. So we go open the other router, command line interface, enter, no. Answer no on the wizard dialog because you don't want to go through a configuration dialog. You just want to get to the basic command prompt. On these routers, I am not putting any additional configurations like passwords or anything like that. I'm just doing the minimal configuration to show you how to do NAT, so that way to keep it simple. Okay, serial 2/0. I'm going to do the serial interface first. IP address 200.10.0.2, and then the subnet mask. No shut. All right, and now as you notice, that interface green light comes up. Now the interface is up. For the other interface, I'll do int fa 0/0 IP address, and this one will be 10.0.0.1, and then I'll put in a classful subnet mask of 255.0.0.0. So /8 subnet mask here for the 10 private address, 10.0.0.1. Hit enter, no shut. Alright, and now that interface is up. Okay. Alright, now for this server we need to set a couple of things here. So on the server, I'll click on desktop, IP configuration, and I'll set the IP address 10.0.0.254, right? So here's the last address. There's the 255.0.0.0 subnet mask, and then the gateway, which is the router, the way out of the network. Alright, I've set that up. Now that's all set. Everything, we've got green lights, and that's good. Another thing I'm going to do is make sure that HTTP is running, and sure enough it is on. Take it off, take it on again. So the HTTP server is running for this server. So we've got a web server running on this server right over here. That's good to know.